Hello everyone, this is Bryant with SFFT Source, your premier unofficial guide to Fiesta, Texas. We are here at Fiesta, Texas. It is January, which means it is Mardi Gras Festival time. So we're going to enjoy all kinds of specialty food. They've revamped the whole food portion of this event. We're going to check out the parade. We're going to check out all the live music and in-park decor. This is one of my favorite events of the year, so I'm super excited to be here. And just keep in mind, this event does run through March 1st, so any day that the park is open from now until March 1st, you have a chance to come out and enjoy the event. So, join us, let's head on an adventure. So right as you walk into the park, of course, they've lined the airways of Los Festivales with tons of Mardi Gras themed banners and signage and masks and everything. So, looking really good, as always. Of course, our special alligator friend is up there. We're gonna have to go pay him a visit. And of course, if you are a member that's Gold Plus through Diamond Elite, you can come over to Member Services right over here and sign up to be on a parade float. Now just keep in mind it is first come first serve, so if you come on a busier day, might have a harder time doing that, but a day like today where it's not very busy, I'm sure it would be very easy to get on. And of course, here's a look at our fun alligator friend right before we get to Texas State Square. And they do have some street performers out here just juggling and tossing batons and walking on stilts. And of course, there's a stage up here where the King of New Orleans Swing plays, which is also known as the Dixieland Jazz Celebration. So one of the big projects happening right now, which is kind of hard to see with the gloomy weather, they're actually repainting Boomerang. And you can see that the supports are kind of like a orangish reddish color, and then of course you'll have the teal track. So they've done the two lift hills, and then they have painted the actual loop. They haven't painted the supports to it, but I'm sure that's coming. So this will be great when you walk into the park and you have a brand new vibrant paint job pointing off at you. But also keep in mind that they did refurbish the train recently. I haven't been on it to see if it's any smoother, but I'll let you guys do that, and you can let me know if it's any smoother in the comments below. And as we make our way back to Rockville, where the Mardi Gras Village is here in Spotsburg, you can get a photo taken with Daffy and Bugs Bunny and Lola Bunny, and they're in their Mardi Gras garb getting ready, and they will be in the parade later on. So right as you come across where Pete's Eats is and walk past Scream, you run into your first booth. I think what we'll do right now is actually go through, show you the menus for every booth so you can get an idea of what's available. So our first booth is going to be Bayou Bites. Let's go check out the menu. Here's a look at the menu for Bayou Bites. You can also see that these stands are open from 11 a.m. to park close. So we have Cajun Gator Bites, Crawfish Boil, Cajun Shrimp, and then of course tons of beer beverages to choose from. You can see that all of the food items are a snack, and they're going with the same kind of layout they did for Holiday in the Park, where you can actually turn your meals into snacks so that you can actually get 3 things throughout the day if you have a top tier dining pass, which is awesome. So right here in front of the entrance to Hustler are 2 alcoholic beverage stands. So we'll go to this first menu. You can see that this is mainly beer, and if you want to pause this, you can see what they are serving. Now these 2 stands do only serve alcohol, so just keep that in mind, and we will move on to the next one, which will have more of the liquor involved items. So there you have Hurricane, Comfort Collins, and then of course your beer options. So lots of alcoholic beverage options. You don't get any kind of discount on this because they can't do that with alcohol, but you can enjoy some authentic Mardi Gras themed beverages over in this area. So of course right in front of Rockville High you have the Rockville Outdoor Stage where the King William Brass Band plays, and then of course Rockville High. In front of that you have Creole and Cajun and the Bacon Voodoo booths. So at Creole and Cajun you have gumbo, jambalaya, crawfish etouffee, delicious sounding stuff. And then of course you also have some beverage options right there. And then we will swing around to this menu. You can see at the Bacon Voodoo booth you have bacon wrapped Boudin balls, bacon wrapped sausage, bacon crab mac and cheese. So they had the crab mac and cheese. I guess it has bacon now. You're not going to hear me complain about that. That sounds great. And then of course even more alcoholic beverages to choose from. So plenty of stuff for everybody involved. So our final Mardi Gras themed food booth is right next to Funnelicious, and it is the Canal Street Sweets booth, which of course is all of your dessert options. Let's take a look at the menu, and you'll have beignets here, you'll have the praline caramel bread pudding here, you'll have chocolate chip cannolis here, and even more beer. So more alcoholic beverages. It looks like you can buy beer at every single stand, and then of course over at the little brew section over by Hustler is where you can actually get the more liquor involved stuff. So it's looking great. I'm ready to dig in. I've got to decide what to eat. So gotta determine. It's got to be hearty, that's for sure. All right, so I've made a decision. We're back at Bayou Bites over here by Pete's Eats. I think first we're gonna go with the Cajun Gator Bites, which is $7.99 or a snack on the dining pass. All right, folks, here's a look at those Cajun Gator Bites. You can see they are fried pieces of assumedly gator. I'm not super sure. And then it comes with some kind of dipping sauce. But it honestly looks very delicious. The Gator Bites do look like they actually have some kind of seasoning along with the sauce. So, let's see how it tastes. All right, folks, it's time. It actually does have a little bit of spice to it, which is kind of nice. The sauce is very tangy. I don't really know what it is. It probably says on the menu. They're not super warm, but I have been sitting here for a minute. It is kind of cool outside. And they're not super crunchy. So if you're expecting to get this fried food and crunchy, I think that might be kind of a hit or miss thing. It's definitely not bad. And if you use a snack on it, you know, then you're not paying anything for it. I did go ahead and just pay for this out of pocket because we want to try a bunch of food. So this was about $4.30 something with that Diamond Elite discount. All right, so honestly, those Gator Bites ended up being pretty delicious. We're gonna stop at the Bacon Voodoo stand next, and we're gonna get the Bacon Crab Mac and Cheese, which is $10.99 or a snack on the dining pass. All right, folks, here is the Bacon Crab Mac and Cheese, and just to give you a reference of how big this is, here's my hand and here's the bowl. So it's a fairly decent amount of food. I don't know if it constitutes as a whole meal, just keep that in mind. And you can see they're very gratuitous with the bacon. And you can see a little bit of crab in there as well. But last year, if you recall, this was just the crab mac and cheese, but this park is really into the bacon thing, so I'm giving this a shot too. All right, folks, let's give this a try. It's definitely good. As you can see, they put a ton of bacon on here, and the bacon kind of overpowers everything. So if you like bacon, you're in for a treat. They are fresh bacon bits. It's not just kind of like what you get out of the package. It is actually heated and stuff, so that's really nice. We're gonna keep digging in. This is actually pretty good, so I would definitely recommend this. And like I said before, you could use your dining pass on this, and it's perfectly reasonable. All right, folks, we're about halfway through our Bacon Crab Mac and Cheese adventure, and once you get kind of past the wall of delicious bacon bits, you do actually get to the crab, and you know, it's not real crab, but it's good. And you can at least definitely taste the crab. And the mac and cheese is very, very creamy, which I really like. We took a small detour to Bugs Whitewater Rapids, and I just wanted to point out the fact that they have been doing theming enhancements in the queue line, and you can see that this big throne in here has been essentially redone. They've added a lot of sparkling lighting effects. It looks really good. And we backtracked in the queue a little bit. You can see there's fresh paint on this scene. A lot of these banners and stuff on the walls have fresh paint. They've also repainted the handrails, which is awesome. And there's one more thing I want to show y'all. Then right at the actual entrance of the ride, you can see more painted, basically like a shield. And then they've painted these kind of pillars around here, so you can see more of the painted handrails too. So this looks really good. This is definitely one of the cooler queues at the park, and definitely much needed because it gets quite a line in the summer. So one entertainment option is kind of out of the scope of the whole Mardi Gras area, and that's the Big Easy Trio that's here at Sangerfest Hall. You can see the show times there, and we'll go check them out real quick.
Oh, the shark baby has such deep fear, and he shows them pearl white. Just a jackknife has my key, and he keeps it oh so far outside. Jungle VIP, I reached the top and I had to stop, but that's what's bothering me. I wanna be a man in that club, roll out in the town, and be just like the other men. I'm tired of walking around.
Alright folks, we've made our way back to the Mardi Gras village, and now we're going to try the bacon wrapped Boudin balls, which I am pretty much 100% positive these are new this year. So this was $10.99 or a snack on the dining pass. Let's get an extreme close up there. It's looking pretty good from here, so let's dig in. Alright y'all, let's try this Boudin bite as the music begins. It's pretty good. It definitely has a lot of spice, kind of like the Gator bites, so just keep that in mind. I don't really know if the bacon adds much for me. The Boudin ball actually does overpower the bacon, but it is fresh. It does just kind of break away in your mouth, easy to eat, so this is a really solid choice. It's really good. And we're going to take a quick detour from the Mardi Gras festivities to show you what's going on around the park improvements-wise. You can see the Kiddee Coaster has a fresh new paint job, silver track, red supports, and this is for the re-theme that's coming to this area. So they've started that. We'll try to get some more angles of this as well. So you can see that the old signage is still up over here, but got a nice fresh new paint job coming right along. I don't really see anything else in this area that's changed. Let's give it a quick swipe. So just taking a quick swipe around this kiddie area, it looks like everything else is pretty much how it always is. So still lots to go for this re-theme in this area, and there's not really a timeline for it, so we'll just have to stay tuned and see what happens. So just looking at Daredevil Dive, not much has changed, but actually a lot has changed since we've been here last. So we'll try to kind of get a view of it. We might be able to, I'm not super sure. So from up here you can really see that structure that they moved, which was the old Chopsticks covered eating area. That will be the new queue. And they are kind of basically just pouring and installing the base of this ride as we speak. And just real quick, here's a more in-depth look of what's going on in there. You can see kind of the base of the ride. It's gonna be very large. And as we're winding through Crack Axle Canyon, there's lots of these location guide maps around. And one nice thing is they update these every time there's an event. So if you need to quickly reference the Mardi Gras guide and you didn't pick one up, here you go. They're attached to all of these maps. So here at Totally Kickin' Chicken, you can see that there is a sign up that talks about the mobile ordering. Still no idea when it comes, just letting you know this side is closed because this will be the mobile order pickup right here on the front of the building.
I want a hand for Mr. Mike Pinsley on that trombone.
It's worth pointing out that Gully Washer appears to be undergoing its annual maintenance. You can see that the trough is dry and the ride is not running. It's pretty chilly right now, so I don't know why you'd want to ride it, but for those of you who are die-hard Rapids fans, currently down to be refurbished. And since we're talking about refurbishment, it does look like the Fiesta Texas Railroad is also undergoing some kind of refurbishment project right now. I just wanted to point out that right here in front of Der Pilger Bahnhof, which is the Spassberg train station, I've done some really nice landscaping. This looks really good. All right, folks, we just enjoyed the Mardi Gras parade, which was fantastic as always. Tons of beads. It's time to start filling our faces again. So you can see here is the Crawfish etouffee, which comes with a pretty healthy amount of crawfish. It's on a bed of rice. And this does normally come with a little deal of cornbread, but they were out, so that's okay. We will skip on the cornbread this time and just enjoy this main dish. So let's give it a shot. All right, folks, it is Crawfish etouffee time. I didn't get a crawfish. Let me go get a crawfish real quick. So, the overall quality of the food is not bad. The crawfish was good. What's interesting though is that when I usually eat etouffee, it's got a lot more of a flavor, like a kickin' flavor going on. And this is definitely watered down. It's kind of surprising because the other kind of main dishes we ate had a nice amount of spice to them. So maybe if you're not into spice but you want to enjoy the food, this is actually kind of the perfect dish for you. It's not bad by any means. It just kind of lacks the spice that I would prefer. It is by no means unedible, however. And I did want to mention this was $10.99 or a snack on the dining pass. All right, folks, I'm about all tapped out on the savory food items, so I went ahead and got 2 dessert items to show y'all. So here on the left is the bread pudding. It has the praline sauce on top. And then over here is the chocolate chip cannoli. I don't actually see any chocolate chips though, so I'm not really sure where that comes into play. Maybe it's hidden inside. So both of these were $6.99 a piece or a snack on the dining pass. So we are going to dig right in and let you know how they are. All right, folks, it is bread pudding time. I'm going to try to not make a mess. That's actually really good. This was actually one of my favorite things last year, so it's nice to see they're kind of keeping up with the same kind of setup with it. It's very rich though, so bread pudding is kind of an acquired taste for some people, so just keep that in mind. But I actually really like it. I'm gonna give it one more bite. Yeah, it's very moist and full of flavor. So now let's jump over to the cannoli and give it a try. So the bread pudding was a warm dessert. This is a cold dessert. Flavor-wise, it's not bad. The actual outside kind of shell, you know, you can tell that maybe it's been out all day. It doesn't taste bad though, it's just not as crisp as maybe you would think it would be. But the flavor is good. I don't know where the whole chocolate chip thing comes from though, because this just seems like normal kind of filling, but still both really solid options. I think I would take the bread pudding first, and the cannoli comes in a close second. All right, folks, that does it for this trip to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. I'm actually back in the car. As you can see, it got really rainy here the last couple of hours. Luckily, we were able to fit the parade in. We were able to fit tons of food items, all the other entertainment options. So I'll just kind of list my favorite food items and kind of my priority to try them. Number one on the actual savory food items was probably the Boudin balls. I think those were my favorite. I do think they are supposed to come with a dipping sauce that I didn't get, so that would probably make it even better, but they were delicious and fresh. Next up, I would probably go with the mac and cheese. I would definitely go with the mac and cheese. Super delicious. After that, I would say probably the Gator bites are my next favorite, and then The crawfish etouffee comes in last, and that's really just a preference on the spice. Everything else had a nice spice and flavor content to it. The crawfish etouffee was a little bit kind of toned down for me. I actually like it a little bit more kind of genuine to how it's made at the real event. So y'all saw some clips from the Mardi Gras parade. There's actually kind of new floats in the parade with some new scenes, and that was really cool to see, really surprising. I didn't actually know that was going to happen, so make sure y'all come out, check out the parade. Like I said before, if you're a member and you want to be a part of the parade, you can go to member services and sign up. It is a ton of fun to ride on the float, so I highly recommend it. It's kind of weird. You almost have to come twice, because I do recommend you watching the float and experiencing it from the ground, or watching the parade, I mean, and experiencing it from the ground and really soaking that in, but then coming back and actually getting to be in the parade itself, because they're two completely different experiences and both really fun. Right now is the perfect time to come to Fiesta, Texas. It's not very busy, so this was a Saturday. It did get busier as the day went on. I think people actually came out for the parade, so Six Flags, people really like this parade thing, so keep it up. I love these special events. The Mardi Gras Festival is no exception. It's fantastic. It's, it might be my favorite event here of the year. I'm not sure. Fright Fest it's right there with Fright Fest, so, they're always finding ways to make this a better event, to make things go smoother, to offer better food items. That doesn't go unnoticed. It's awesome that they put in this work to keep these events consistent and full of options, and they just keep trying, and it's great. Obviously, the new kind of food festival structure that they have where everything is a snack is fantastic. Everything is super accessible, and then of course if you want to purchase things, they are very affordable. You don't have to buy a passport, so hopefully the park keeps up with that, because it is a great method. I'd love to know in the comments below what your favorite food items were from Mardi Gras Festival, if you ate something we didn't eat. I do really want to get back out here before the festival is over. That's just kind of a TBD thing. There is an American Coaster Enthusiasts event here on February 29th that is going to be jam-packed. There's going to be multiple meals, including Mardi Gras food, ERT on every single coaster in the park, so really huge event, and it's only $25 for members, so we might try to come out to that. If we can't make it, I encourage y'all to make it, because it is going to be a fantastic event, fantastic way to celebrate the leap year that we are in right now. So if you have any questions about Fiesta, Texas, please ask in the comments below. Make sure to check out sfftsource.com. There's a full Mardi Gras 2020 guide, and you might actually answer tons of other questions you have about the park on that website. Make sure to check us out on social media. Like this video, subscribe if you enjoy the content. We want to bring more to you. We are working on a Fiesta Texas flashback series, and we hope to get that out here within the next month or two. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very challenging, but we look forward to it. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you soon at a theme park.